is up? My name is Brad and this is Operation GameCube. Now, for any of you that are new to the channel, in this series we're trying to build a GameCube collection starting off with just £10. By using our charity shops, our car boots, our Facebook marketplace, looking for stuff for cheap that we can sell for a profit to build a game fund to buy GameCube bangers. So we added another game to the collection last week, bringing us up to a grand total of 16 games and that memory card. I've also got another game coming this week, courtesy of Vinted, so fingers crossed that arrives in time. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's do the updates to the game fund. So we made a grand total of 4 sales this week. The first sale was that Street Fighter soundtrack. That sold for £12.76. The next thing we sold was that box and manual only of the new Super Mario Bros. For the DS. That sold for £5. We had that for free. The next thing we sold was one of them cable guys, the Call of Duty cable guy. That went for £5.08. And the last thing we sold was a Darth Vader lightsaber, which went for £8.99. So after all deductions, that's a grand total of this to add to the game fund for a grand total of this. So yeah, not too shabby. It's always good to make sales and keep that game fund growing. Now this week I've got a bit of a mad one. Me and the boy are going back to my hometown of Woking for the weekend. A bit of a lads weekend, because on the Saturday night we are going to watch Linkin Park at Wembley. I can't wait. I am buzzing for it. He is buzzing for it. He's only 7. His first gig, Linkin Park in Wembley, that's pretty mad for a first gig. So fair play to him. So we are going back to my hometown and I'm picking up something really cool. Now I don't know if you remember, but maybe 5 or 6 weeks ago I was on holiday and I mentioned that I picked up something absolutely crazy. Well, I'll be picking that up and there should be an extra video coming this Friday all about that. So make sure you are locked to the channel. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you do not miss that. You do not want to miss it. It is mad. I am so excited for it. So yeah, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you do not miss that. But let's get into this week and see what happens. Let's go. So we started off the week like we normally do, hitting our locals. And what is this on the shelves? Pokemon games for the 3DS, a Zelda game as well, and a couple of Naruto games for the Xbox 360. As you can see, these things were priced up individually, but also as you can see, there's still plenty of room in them, plenty of profit there. The Naruto games were pretty battered and there weren't a great deal of value in them, but the DS games were definitely worth a crack. This charity shop here had a box of games out on the table. Had a little flick through, see if there was anything worth picking up. Yeah, this place is a new place to me and I've started going in there a bit more often. They normally keep the games out the back, but she said today they just chucked them on the table so that everyone could have a good look. So I had a little rummage through, pulled out the interesting games, and yeah. If there were any worth picking up, I was going to pick them up. So yeah, not a bad start to the week. A great way to get things started before we headed back to my hometown for the weekend. Right guys, so I'm back in my hometown of Woking. Me and the boy are going to Wembley tonight to watch Linkin Park. So yeah, we're staying here for the night. This morning we went to this book and bric-a-brac thing at like a local charity shop. If you want to check that footage out now, while I make my way to CX, do a little bit of a trade, see what's on offer. So yeah, see you in a bit. So on the Saturday morning I headed to what I can only describe as like a jumble sale. It was this charity shop sort of open day where they had a bunch of stuff and it was basically fill a bag for a tenner. And there wasn't the greatest of stuff there. It must have been stuff that they sort of had as overflow, or just stuff they wanted to get rid of, stuff that wasn't worthy of eBay or the shop fronts or whatever. But having said that, there was still some decent stuff there, and to fill a bag for a tenner, that's a cracking price. Me and my mum shared a bag, so we filled the bag together and ended up going halves on the bag. Bunch of comics here. Had I had more time and a bit more knowledge, there's probably a bunch of stuff here worth picking up. Some cool items though, like I said. Yeah, just having a good look around, scanning up at my leisure. Yeah, it was good crack. Let's go back to CX now. So me and the boy were in town. We popped to CX to do a little trade, have a little look what they had on offer. Woken CX, not too bad. I had a few decent bits and pieces here and there. I had a good look around. No real GameCube games to add to the collection in here. They had a pretty substantial PS3 and PS2 section. A bunch of games here. I had a good look through these as well. And also headed over to the more modern stuff, looking for them sort of different editions, sort of the sleeve covers, steelbooks, that sort of thing that they might have chucked out on the shelf at the standard price. There wasn't a great deal of them there, but I had a good look around. I did end up picking one game up from here, which I'll show you when we get back to the games room. Not a GameCube game, but a game that I wanted to grab. A game that I'm sort of going for a little bit of a subset with. So yeah, I did pick up one game from here. Morning everyone. So last night was good. Lincoln Park, fantastic. But making a bit of a late one this morning, going to the car boot. This car boot is massive. So yeah, let's have a look and see what we can find. Like I said, I'm starting a little bit late, so hopefully not all the good stuff is gone, but let's go. So having had such a late night the night before, I couldn't get up at the crack of dawn, so I was a few hours late to this car boot. Having said that though, there was still nice stuff there. I hadn't missed out on everything. This car boot, luckily, I think didn't open till I think about 8 o'clock, and I rocked up about 9ish. So yeah, there was a few bits and pieces here, some games in the basket here. I think you had £4 or £5 on them. On these games, it is Surrey. Prices are a little bit more expensive, but I had a good look around. My head was a bit all over the shop, having had such a late night, so I wasn't in the game, but I'm so glad I went nonetheless. Hopefully, if I can get back to Woking in the summer, I will try and get back to this car boot again, because it was pretty massive. Yeah, great little car boot, great change of scenery. My car boot you've seen plenty of times, and it's not the biggest of car boots, so yeah, it was great to get to a different one. It's always nice to do that. Box of games here, these were a bit messy. They weren't the games in the cases. That's that Ultimate Spider-Man, probably the best game in there, but it wasn't in the box, unfortunately. First pickup was this Transformers sticker book, really cool, unused, from the 80s. Them Transformer fans out there, this might be a nice addition to anyone's collection. And here I've had to pixelate this out because these were Blu-rays, these were naughty VHS. Now there is value in this sort of stuff, but it's also kind of grim at the same time. Little box of games here, nothing real crazy, nothing worth picking up. And a bunch of VHS and horror VHS at that. These are the VHS I'm looking out for. Horror VHS can do a lot better than other VHSs. You just got to check what sort of condition they're in. The film on the inside can get mouldy. So you want to be careful of that. You can clean it, but I can't. But yeah, I had a good look through them. And a single game here that I did end up picking up, Gran Turismo 6. And we are back in the games room, and what a fantastic week. I just got back from my weekend away with my boy. We went to watch Lincoln Park last night at Wembley, and it was just a cracking night. We both really enjoyed ourselves. We got home really late, so we were both really tired. But I got up this morning and went to a car boot, believe it or not, before my 3.5 hour drive back to South Wales. So yeah, it's been a bit of a mad one. I'm a bit running on adrenaline at the minute. But I've got a ton of stuff to get through, like loads of stuff here. We picked up absolutely tons of stuff that we have to get through. I got a game that come from Vinted. I also want to show you something else that happened just before I left. So I want to try and get through it as quickly as possible without keeping you guys too long. So let's get into the pickup straight away. Now, we spent a grand total of £60 this week. It's one of our heaviest spends so far, so we can deduct that from the game fund. We did manage to do a bit of a trade at CX while we were back in Woking, and we ended up, I think, with £23 to add to the CX fund. So we can add that now. So yeah, that's the money done. Let's get straight into the pickups. Now, we started off this week with a bang, man. I didn't get to go to many charity shops before I went away for the weekend, but the two I went to were well worth it. And the first pickups are Pokemon games on the DS. Now, I paid up a little bit for these, but I had mentioned in a video a couple of weeks ago that that's what I'm going to have to start doing. I'm not going to be getting this stuff for £1 anymore. It's just not the way it is. So you're going to have to pay up a little bit, but I definitely think it's worth it. So the first one I picked up here is Pokemon Sun. As you can see there, I paid $7.50 for it. That's quite rich for me. You know how tight I am. Now, CX sell this for £22. They'll give you £14 trade. But this thing is complete, so I'll probably try and sell it myself for around £20 if I can. The same can be said with Pokemon Moon. Now, I only paid $6.50 for this one. Again, this is sold in CX for $22. They give you £14 trade. But I will again try and sell this on myself for about £20 on eBay. The next one is Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D for the DS. I paid £10. £10 for a game in a charity shop. That's unheard of on this channel, but it's the way forward, I think. Now, CX again, I think, sell this for $22 and give you £14 trade. Kind of mad they're all worth the same, but I think that's what it is. Again, I will probably try and sell this myself on eBay and like double my money, hopefully. But the winner of the lot and the maddest one of the lot is Pokemon Y. Now, this was the cheapest one there, but has the most value. I only paid £4.50 for this, and CX sell it for 48, I believe, or 43, and they give you like 28 or something like that trade in. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. Now, this one I'll probably trade in because it is missing all the manuals and stuff. Or I might have a look. Maybe I can fetch a bit more on eBay without the manuals. But yeah, great start to the week. So I spent a grand total of £28 on these. It's quite a lot for me. But CX gives you £70 trade. But if I could sell these separately myself, I should be getting well over £100. So yeah, definitely worth doing. And when I saw them in the shop, my eyes lit up. When I saw the prices, they were lit down a little bit, but they were still definitely worth picking up. Let me know in the comments below, would you have paid these prices in a charity shop? I think this is the way forward. Things are definitely going up, but if it's still worth it, if there's still decent profit in it, for me, it was definitely worth picking up. And the next pickup from a charity shop, the last charity shop before I went away, a couple of games again. Got Sims 2 Castaway. I paid £1 for it. I think they'll give you £5 trade in CX. And again, another game here, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. £1 I paid, I think £3 trade. So yeah, not too bad to start the week. They were literally the only two charity shops I think I went to before I went away. And to find Pokemon games, that's a fantastic week on its own. But let's get into everything else. Now, when I went back to England, I went back on a Friday night, and on the Saturday morning before we went to London to see Lincoln Park, me and my mum went to this like open day at like a charity shop. It was basically a way for them to sort of get rid of stuff. I think they were doing like £10 a bag, fill a bag, whatever's in it, £10 sort of thing. So me and my mum filled the bag, went halves, so I paid £5 for all this stuff here. I think it's a way for them to sort of get rid of a load of stuff. Maybe it's not the best stuff, maybe it's not the stuff they stick on eBay or the stuff they stick in the shops. It's sort of the stuff left over or the overflow, and they just want rid of it. They get so many donations. I think it's a great idea, because even though there wasn't the most amazing stuff there was still good stuff there, and it was really cheap. But let's get into what it is. And yeah, the first pickup is this White Lotus. I didn't pay £2 for it. That must have been what it was on the shelf in the shop or whatever. But yeah, White Lotus Seasons 1 and 2. Now, CX don't actually sell this box set, particularly sell Season 1 on its own and Season 2 on its own. This is in French, man, so I'm not really sure why. But when I looked this thing up on eBay, brand new, it's selling for like 40 or quid. So second hand, I'm hoping around £20 if I can. So yeah, not a bad find at all with that one. Another DVD box set here, and that is The Exorcist Anthology. I think £4 trade in CX. Do you know what? I've never watched The Exorcist, and I've always wanted to. So I might use this as a reason to watch it before I trade it in. Because I've always wanted to watch The Exorcist. There's such hype on it. It's such one of them like cult classics that I've just never watched. So yeah, I'll probably try and watch that. Next pickup is this like zombies board game. Yeah, now with the board games, I was a little bit concerned because they did say none of it's been checked. You'll be taking out your own risk. But when you're paying almost pennies for it, it doesn't really matter. But this is complete, and I think it sells pre-owned for about £12 to £15 on eBay, so not bad at all. Another board game here, and when I saw the name of this, I know that the like original version of this can fetch a bit of money, and that is, how do you say it, Catan? Is that how you say it? But this is Catan, I'm sure that's how you say it. You can let me know. Catan Junior this is, so it doesn't have as much value, but I'm seeing on eBay about 10 to 12. 10 to 12 quid for this. I have to check it. There's a load of pieces in here. Could be missing a few. If it is, I'll just donate it back to a charity shop. I paid hardly anything for this stuff. The last pickups are books. And if it wasn't like if I didn't pay £5 for all this stuff, I don't think I would have picked these up. But because they were, like I said, pennies, I had to, man. They're pretty cool. So the first one here is T2, The Making of Terminator 2, Judgment Day, like a book, like a making of book. Let me just flick through it for you. So you've got like screenshots from the film, loads of write-ups of how they made it and stuff. Pretty cool little thing for them Terminator fans out there. On eBay, I'm thinking about £7, something like that. The next one is this Pacific Rim source book. Now, Pacific Rim has a pretty huge following. The first film, I believe, is pretty good. The second film, I don't think they did very well. But again, it's full of all these pictures, a bunch of like history or whatever, I think, and just loads of information about, Pacific Rim. I don't know much about it. Let me know in the comments below if you do. But I thought it was pretty cool. And again, it fetches around the same, about £7-8 on eBay. So not bad at all. And the last one is this Battletech, A Time of War. Now, I believe this is like a Dungeon Master's book, if that's what you call it. Don't know much about role-playing games, but I believe that's what this is. This is something you'd use to sort of like do this sort of role-play game, I think. Now, when I scanned this, they're listed for like 40-50 quid, but solds are around £20. So, yeah, not too bad. It's a heavy, hardback book. Like I said, it's like that RPG role-playing game. Let me know in the comments below as well if you know anything about this. But yeah, cool little book here. Tons of stuff in it. But yeah, cool little finds, man. And that's everything we had from that day. As you can see from the footage, there were a ton of comic books there. I'm talking hundreds and hundreds of comic books. I didn't have the time to go through them all. I'm not knowledgeable enough to just find them in the, see them and know. So yeah, I didn't pick any of them up. Maybe I should have. If I had more time, maybe I would have. But that's everything we picked up from there. So now we're getting to the car boot pickups. Like I said, this morning, I went to a car boot straight off the back of that gig. I was tired. I weren't on my game. I probably missed a ton of stuff. I got there late, so I was kind of expecting all the good stuff to be gone. There were still games there, but let's get into everything. So the first pickup is this Transformers sticker book. Now, this thing is from 1987, and it's like one of them sticker books where you can sort of reuse the stickers and you stick them on like these sort of backgrounds and stuff, and it's never been used. The stickers are all still there, never been used. You can see it there. They haven't been taken out and put back in. You never get them back in like that. So yeah, very cool find this, and I paid 50p for it. Hopefully around £5-10 mark, something like that. Cool little book, that. Cool find. The next find is a box set here. It's a Fast and Furious box set. I paid £1 for it. Trades in for £4. The next pickup was this The Palaces. I think that's how you say it. The Palaces box set here. Again, I paid £1 for it. I think £7 trade on that. And the only game I found at the car boots was this Gran Turismo 6, the Anniversary Edition. Now, I only picked it up because it is the Anniversary Edition. And I looked up on eBay and about 12 quid. I do believe it should have come with like a steelbook and a sleeve cover. It says not to be sold separately. I don't know. I'll have a closer look. But it is complete. And it should fetch a little bit more than Gran Turismo 6 would. So yeah, first and only game. The next thing is this. I think this is really cool. It's this Hobbit pop-up book. It's pretty sick. Pretty sick little pop-up book here for any of them like Lord of the Rings fans out there, Tolkien fans out there. It is a pretty sick pop-up book. I was in awe of it. I paid £2 for it. I definitely think it's worth more than that. Looking on eBay, some of them are listed for crazy money, but the solds are around the £12, £15, £20 mark. So yeah, cool little pickup that. The Hobbit pop-up book. Very cool. The last pickup, no, it's not the last pickup. The next pickup from the car boots is VHS, the horror VHS. A couple I left behind because they were mouldy, but the ones I did pick up were Fright Night. Should fetch about £10. These all should be about 5, 10, 15, somewhere around there. The next one is Christine, Stephen King's Christine. Never seen this film. Let me know in the comments below if I should. A bloke at work told me to watch it once. Maybe I should watch it. The next one is Phantasm. As you can see, this is bad. It needs a new VHS case, but I picked this up because I also picked up Phantasm. Oh my god, it's Phantasm 3. I thought it was Phantasm 2. Can still bundle them up, 2 and 3, or 1 and 3, sorry. Maybe someone has number 2 already. The next one is Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. I don't think I've seen this one. This one is the one that sort of steps out, isn't it? It's nothing to do with Michael Myers, am I right? I believe it's like set in Ireland, and it has something to do with like subliminal messages with the TV. I could be talking rubbish right now. This is what I remember hearing. Could have mixed up my knowledge. Let me know in the comments below as well. I really want to watch it though, because it is that like obscure part of the franchise, this one. So Halloween 3. And the last one is this, The Driller Killer. Never heard of it. It's a funny sort of like B-horror, maybe. Let me know in the comments below. There's got to be horror fans who know more about this than me. But yeah, horror VHS are just something I think are definitely worth picking up. Can probably sell better than others. So yeah, horror VHS, very cool. Sorry to keep you guys, I told you there was loads. The next pickup is a bunch of Pokemon plush. I paid £1 a piece for these. Let's fly through them. I'm hoping between 5 to 12, 15 for these, depending on size. So yeah, Squirtle, Totodile. Is that right? Let me know if I'm wrong. Totodile, Crocodile, Totodile, I don't know. Got an Eevee here. These are all Pokemon Center plushies. Little tiny Charmander. A little Bulbasaur. Got a Growlithe. I used to love this Pokemon. I used to love its next form. It's Arcanine. Very cool. And the last one is the biggest one of the lot. It is a Vaporeon. This again was my choice of evolutions when I found Eevee in the games. Always went Vaporeon. I don't know why. Yeah, very cool. So yeah, a bunch of Pokemon plushies there. Like I said, hopefully somewhere between 5 and 15 per, or maybe I'll bundle them up or whatever. But definitely worth picking up. And that is everything we picked up in terms of stuff to try and sell or trade. I think we've done really well. Like I said, we spent about 50 quid on all that stuff. Plus we picked up a game of Vintage, which we'll get into in a second. I just want to run through a couple of games I did find to keep for myself. The first one is this Radio Helicopter. I don't know why, I just like the look of it. Thought I'd hold on to it for my collection. And the next one is what I picked up at Woken CX. Didn't find any GameCube games I wanted to pick up on the day, but there was an admission from my Tomb Raider set on the PlayStation 1, and that is Tomb Raider The Last Revelation. It is complete, needs a new case or a bit of a clean. £5 a CX all day long. One other thing I want to show you, if you haven't seen it already, I finally had back this poster from the framer. I can't fit it in shot. I'll try and put some B-roll over the top. But I found this during Operation N64, and I sent it in for framing in February, and I finally got it back, and it looks fantastic. It is double-sided, and it is sick. I absolutely love it. This thing needs to go up on the wall. Oh my gosh, one other thing. I did buy one other thing from the car boot for myself, and it is an original movie poster from like the cinema. This dude was a collector. He was more than a collector. He told me that he can be hired out by clients to source stuff, and yeah, man, pretty cool bloke. Had a bunch of stuff there, showed me all the posters he had, and when I saw this, I had to pick it up, man. This is the sort of thing I want up on my wall in the games room, and it is, see if we can't open it. I'll put some B-roll as well over the top if I remember, but it is a Small Soldiers movie poster. This thing would have been up outside your local cinema to entice you in. Yeah, man, I'm showing you pretty poorly, but this thing is so sick. I'm going to get this framed, and it's going to go up on the wall in the games room. Yeah, man, I'm over the moon with it. Let's get into the GameCube game, man. I'm sorry I kept you. This is quite long-winded, but I had so much to get through. Here it is. It's got some decent bit of bubble wrap on it. It's not an expensive game. But when I saw it, I had to grab it. I do like to pick up games as often as I can, you know, just as long as I'm keeping the series going. I would never put this series in jeopardy by spending all our money on games without, you know, having enough in the bank. Yeah, looking nice, very nice condition. I'm very happy with it. It is Metroid Prime. Evil waits below the surface. Something sinister lurks in the depths of planet Talon 4. Interstellar bounty hunter Samus Aran is the only one who can destroy this evil. But first, it must be found. Yeah, man. Metroid Prime, complete with the manual. But yeah, man, super nice condition. Everything's in here. I paid £10 all in. So that's, you know, I think I paid 8 quid plus postage. Let's have a look at the disc. Disc is beautiful. So yeah, another game into the collection, and it means we now have both Metroid games for the GameCube. I'm very happy to have these in the collection. Let's stick him on the shelf and knock him off the list. There we go. Where is it? Ah! Metroid Prime right there. And there it is, that's 17 games in the collection. What a week, man. I'm absolutely buzzing with this week. I won't keep you any longer. Make sure you're locked to the channel for this extra video coming on Friday. You do not want to miss it. If you are new here, please consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.